key, and the runners are hoping for a second magic key or the spell return, so that they don't have to use the magic key to actually get out of the throne room.
Oh yeah, it's a very good point to also bring up. Well, here we're getting started here. It looks like, so I'll save that point for when we get a little bit of a breath in the action here. Easier said than done. Let's see. We've got the Death Necklace here to start off. We've got the Fairy Water and the obligatory Magic Key.
So the Death Necklace is interesting. The Death Necklace in the vanilla game is basically useless. You put it on, you get cursed, nothing happens. Well, here in this game, you do get cursed, but there's an interesting trade-off. You get an extra 10 attack power, but you lose 25% of your HP.
Certainly leads to some interesting decisions. And right outside the castle, we have a cave just in the northeast. Mr. Holmes and Silverfire are able to make it, and Silverfire immediately running into the AK-47, the Armored Knight, and Lavkian getting sent back to the castle as well.
Yeah, Lavkian got sent back to the castle by a Draki with Dragon Lord Breath. That'll be fun.
Oh, man. And now all four have made their way back as Magidraki sending Ryu to the home castle. Every time you lose all your hit points and are sent back, it's not so much of an issue early in the game as none of them have any gold as of yet, but you lose half of your gold once you get sent back to the castle and also get a stern verbal thrashing from the king saying you shouldn't have done that.
So, skeletons have hurt more, and Druid Lords have Dragon Lord Breath. This is going to be a fun early game.
It's bordering on chaotic, and this isn't even a chaos mode here.
No, this is not chaos mode. This is the quote-unquote standard flags that were used for the previous tournament.
Okay, I see a question here in chat. Is COD a death counter? Yes, it most certainly is. For a long while, I thought it stood for counts of death, but apparently it's due to a different Dragon Warrior game where the individual is referenced to being as cold as a cod.
Exactly, Dragon Warrior 2. Oh, and we have Keytown. We have Rimmildar fight up on Silverfire, just north and a little left of the castle.
Well, that's great, except for the fact that there's no cash to be able to purchase anything, although Silverfire taking a look at the wares nonetheless. And I don't know, maybe, do you think that anyone might do an early strategy, as Game Boy pointed out here in the chat, of selling the Death Necklace as it sells for 1,200 gold?
It's early in the seed, but personally, I would at this point, because getting keys early can be absolutely huge, and you can always get a couple levels here and there, to increase your strength if necessary. But, given where Rimmildar is, I would sell the Death Necklace, but that's me.
Well, that's what's so great about this, is with the different racers, you have different strategies, different mindsets, and there's so much to follow with it here. As we're 3 minutes and change into here, and as I say, I don't think anybody has gotten their first experience as of yet.
No, nobody's gotten their first kill yet because everything else kills them first.
And Ryu finding out about the Dragon Lord Breath from the Draki.
And the ghost looks like they're... Nope, that ain't gonna work on Levkin's side.
It looked like I saw Mr. Holmes do a reset at some point.
Silverfire going through the swamp cave and coming out in Garenham.
Oh, this could be interesting. Let's see what's in there. So we've got the herb, we've got the cursed belt, and we've got big bucks, 728.
Yep, so there we go. Only going to sell the cursed belt for, I think it's 120, 150 gold. He's going to sell that, and he's going to probably... Oh, no, he's not going to death warp with it. So what I would imagine... No, don't sell it first! 180. Oh, where's he going to buy keys? Oh.
Well, taking a look at the weapon shop here is Silverfire, and okay, sees there's a silver shield there, but Yeah, it looks like your best bet here is a club, a chainmail, and a small shield.
Yeah, that looks like the best bet.
And then that'd only be about 450, so that'd still leave about half the gold to be able to purchase. Even if they Death Warp back, 225, so that would still leave,
It
give or
still leaves
take.
enough for a few keys.
Yeah, still have enough for maybe 3, maybe 4 keys.
Well, really, you only need one, and then you pray that there's gold in the Tantegel Castle treasury.
Well, yes, that is true also. Meanwhile, it looks like Ryu has taken down a ghost, as has Mr. Holmes, and Mr. Holmes getting taken down by another ghost. Or actually, I'm sorry, Drakey, I think, gives 3. I'm getting my early game enemies confused here.
Yep, Draki gives 3, a ghost gives 5, I believe.
Let's see, Lavkian, meanwhile, working on exploring to the northwest and running into a Magic Drakey and running right away from it.
So, Silverfire, it looks like he's in a cave.
Well, that cave looks to be, it was just north of Garanham. It's hard to say where he's maneuvering to, although looks like that maneuvering is back to the start as the AK-47 has none of Silverfire's exploration.
And Mr. Holmes gets our first level. Heal, that's good. That's good for longevity to fight off some ghosts or maybe some of these magicians that seem to be appearing near start. And Mr. Holmes is going to stumble into Rimmildar. Now let's see what his strategy is. He is also not going to sell the Death Necklace. Ooh, and it looks like Silverfire got a Magician. So he is also going to get level 2, which isn't a real great level, but at least it comes with heal.
Yeah, 5 power, and because of the strength agility build, only 1 hit point instead of 2.
Ooh, Metal Slime, I don't... Oh, well, that's bad.
That was very short-lived, as the Metal Slime with Hurtmore at easily dispatches of Silverfire.
So let's see.
Meanwhile, just getting through a ghost, kind of powering it out, but able to heal back up to just enough. Druid Lord, meanwhile, has Dragon Lord Breath as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are deaths everywhere right now. So it looks like Magicians, once you get the heal spell, it looks like Magicians are going to be the place to grind. As you can see Silverfire and Mr. Holmes doing.
And just with 1 Magician, Silverfire doubled his experience.
And also notice, given the club and the chainmail and the small shield that Silverfire has, he's getting through these Magicians quicker. Oh, and we have a level 3 for Holmes. Nice power, nice hit points. There we go. That'll help. That's a nice level to kickstart things.
3 out of 4 ain't bad with the 1 MP game, but with all that other stuff, I think you can take that trade-off, at least early on.
Yeah, absolutely. So now, if I'm Silverfire, now I get my butt into Rimmildar and go get a key. If, the enemies allow you to. Oh, Magician's running away. Druid Lord attacking instead of... Oh, no! Oh, boy. Well,
oh, man. Oh, boy.
Rip Silverfire. Oh, he gets away. Oh, my God. Look at this encounter RNG. This is terrible. for Silverfire, and the Green Dragon is going to send him back to start.
Ryu, meanwhile, learns about the metal slimes and the disadvantageous advantage that they seem to have.
Lavkian finally gets a level, but of course he has no MP, so he can't take advantage of the heal spell. Oh, look, and Druins have hurt. Yep, and Druins have hurt.
And AK-47s have a lot of power.
Lavkian getting to level 4, nice agility, nice MP, but that's about it. Okay, let's see what nastiness Drakimas have. Because God knows pretty much everything other than magicians have some form of nastiness. Nope, nothing. Oh, Magidrakis with Heal More, wonderful.
I was gonna say, I can't tell if I'm ahead or behind at the moment as I'm looking at everything here.
Well, I was just looking at Silverfire. I saw the Heal More on Holmes' screen.
Okay, yeah, that's the other thing with it is if you blink, you miss something around here. Silverfire makes his way into Rimmildar, finally avoiding the green dragons and other nastiness there.
Looks like Holmes is doing some druid grinding here over in that little sliver of desert. Oh, Lavkian has made it up to level 4.
And working on a skeleton at the moment.
And gets sent back to start.
Silverfire is keyed up and is eyeing a very, very, very large swamp with a possible quasi-spark over bridge on the left side, but runs into the fun police, and that ends that trek.
Which is fine. Now he's going to go check out the treasury, so let's see what's in the Tantagel treasury. Now, at some point soon, you'd think Mr. Holmes, he might be going up there now. But given he has 86 gold for now, never mind. Herb, magic key, so you can get more magic keys. Erdrick's, that was quick. And the fighter's ring.
It was the token and the fighter's ring.
Alright, so it was the token for Silverfire.
That also means that with no gold there in the treasury, that reduces the likelihood for a gold grind for the Silver Shield, the strongest shield in the game.
Alright, so what you can hope for is that this is a cave, like the Grave of Garanham, for example, with a bunch of chests in it, and one of them hopefully contains gold, so you can do a quasi-gold grind, get the heck out of Dodge, and go get that Silver Shield.
Well, ask and you shall receive. You definitely did get it, and I do see we have big bucks. The Axe Ghost.
The Axe Ghost. Looks like a magic key.
Dragon Scale, maybe, unless he had bought it earlier and I had missed it.
Nah, he had purchased that earlier, so that I do believe is a magic key. The Axe Ghost.
Yeah,
so
it says that it's empty, and then we've also got the Bamboo Pole, which is the
Stones of Sunlight.
As the realization light bulb pops on for both of us here.
Yeah, that took a minute. East Side Manatee, these races usually, depending on the seed, go 90 minutes, give or take. But what we're seeing so far, this one might be one of the longer seeds, because this is not a generous early game whatsoever.
Well, it's strange in that, I mean, there's the generosity of having access to keys right not too far from the castle, but all the enemies that are around it keep you from getting gold to be able to buy said keys to provide access.
Yep, and here we go. Silverfire is going to set up the gold grind. And if I'm not mistaken, he picked up an extra fighter's ring, I believe, to sell.
Not a bad strategy at all.
No, not a bad strategy at all. So he's going to max out on magic keys.
Now, given that we've only seen the top 3 chests in the Grave of Garen, do you think Silverfire takes the dive to see what might be down there, or do you go for the gold grind first? So that's the interesting scenario here.
Given where the chest is, I think you do the gold grind first. And also given the wonderful enemies that are in... he runs away from an AK-47. I don't think he can do it twice. Yeah, see, that's the problem with setting up the gold grind. Is it might take forever just to get there, so he's not going to explore any more of the cave. Because AK-47s are not conducive to your health right now.
And all it takes is one swipe and you're going back to the King in Tanagel.
Now it looks like Mr. Holmes gets to level 5, where we have Stomp Spell.
Meanwhile, Ryu, being very thankful to finally reach level 2, some 16 minutes in here. It has been a rough go for him in the early going.
Speaking of rough going, Fun Police, along with AK-47s in caves. Caves are going to be so fun this seed.
Holmes quickly jumping up to level 6 with a modest gain of 5 power, 6 response speed, 3 hit points, and a magic point.
So now he's going to take as many keys as he can, and I would imagine, let's see if he checks out the... Nah, probably won't check out the key blocked chest here in Rimmildar. He'll probably go back to the castle, I would imagine.
Zista, has anybody checked out the chest in Rimmildar, the double key block?
Nope, not that I've noticed.
And Silverfire reaching level 5.
Silverfire has given up on the idea of a gold grind and is now going to do some exploration. Now, we know that if you go too far north, you start running into Red Dragon territory. So let's see if he tries to take the bridge and maybe head west a little bit.
And Lavkian tries to get away unsuccessfully from a green dragon, and well, that does at least for that for the moment.
Mr. Holmes picks up his token, and I would imagine he will... Oh, he's going to visit the throne room just to get those 3 chests, so he can set up a gold grind here. So let's see if Mr. Holmes has any more luck getting to the treasure, the 3 treasure chests than Silverfire did.
Well, here's the interesting thing. So you have the 4 chests in the treasury and then the 3 from the throne room. It takes 8 before the 9th one sticks. And from what I remembered seeing, the nearest to the approaching player chest is the one that has the gold in it. So
yes, yeah.
I'd be hard pressed to see anybody skip that first one and go to the other one. So that may end up, at least in Mr. Holmes' game plan, backfiring ever so slightly.
So there's an herb. Oh, and he gets the gold grind. He hit the middle chest first.
Oh, well, sometimes if I guess you can't see where you're going and you go a little too far in the dark, you luck out in this case, and Mr. Holmes certainly has done that.
All right, so Silverfire getting to level 6. Lavkian taking on a skeleton. Hopefully he gets done with the skeleton before oh, skeletons with heal more and hurt more. Isn't that wonderful? But at least he cast stop spell on it.
So that might, at least early on, be a smart play, as that sends Lavky into level 6.
Now, notice Mr. Holmes is getting the much easier enemy RNG here. Also notice that Holmes only ground up to 9,900 gold pieces.
Interesting. What do you think he's looking potentially for? Uh-oh. Well, he's looking for a trip back to the top of the castle.
Oh, that's right. He hasn't gone through that cave, so he hasn't gotten into the back door of Garenham, so he hasn't seen the Silver Shield. So he's just getting enough. I think there was a full plate armor in Rimmeldar, so he's just getting enough of what was in Rimmeldar, I think. So given his gold count, I'm guessing there was magic armor and broadsword. That's my guess. No, he's going to make a terminal there, so let's see. Let's see if my hunch is correct. And there it is, broadsword and full plate.
Spot on. Not quite enough for a small shield, though.
That's all right. Oh, and now Mr. Holmes is going to check the key block chest here. And what do we have? We have the torch.
A torch.
All right, so now we have Silverfire doing a grind. Let's see where he's going to grind to. Now, my guess is that, as Game Boy mentions in chat, he's probably going to grind to at least 29.6. My hunch is you're probably going to see him grind closer to, I'm not going to say 40, but maybe 38. Because he does know that the full plate is in Rimmeldar. So my hunch is we'll see him do that death warp, save, and then try to get to Garenham and Rimmeldar. Of course, full plate armor doesn't help against green dragons yet.
No, but it's better than doing the Ray Stevens streak and wearing nothing.
Hmm.
Thank you to the one person out there who might have gotten that reference.
Man, he's rocketing past the 29.6 for just Silver Shield, and he is going to 32, so we'll see what he decides to get with this money, assuming he death warps out. Well,
that's... oh, wait. No,
here's the death warp.
There's one way to do it.
Alright, so Mr. Holmes is going into the cave. Lavkian comes out the other end of the swamp cave, finding absolutely nothing. Now let's see, what else was here? The Silver Shield and the full plate. Of course, Silverfire didn't grind enough to get the full plate too. Oh, but I suppose if he sells his fighter's rings and that, he'll probably get there from that. Okay. Oh boy, here we go. Armored Knight, guess what? Incoming reset.
Meanwhile, Ryu making it to Rimmeldar.
Looks like he's going to go purchase some keys. So let's see if Lavkian decides to do a little exploration around Garenham. Game Boy, that's okay. I'm pretty sure the deaths probably are in the triple digits at this point between these four runners, because this is just slightly ridiculous.
I don't know about triple digits, but we've probably approached or come close to the 50 mark.
Oh, I think we're well over 50. Because the last set COD was 37. And that was 10 minutes ago.
Was it that long? Man, time flies when you're having fun.
Time
and when you're
flies.
running the seed as well.
Oh, well, that bridge goes nowhere. And, of course, now you go north and you run into Fun Please territory. This is going to be fun.
And the dead-end swamp as well. So Ryu finding that out the hard way and just taking the swamp death back to the castle.
So it does look indeed like the swamp cave is pretty darn mandatory. Or no, he took the death warp so he could get these treasure chests. Okay. Alright, so let's see what we have around Garenham. Just gonna go check out that cave and kill a Drakima on the way. Ooh, level 7 has hurt more. Mr. Holmes has hurt more, so that's going to open up the seed for Holmes quite a lot.
Especially considering he already has a roughly, well, in the early going, 300 experience lead is quite a bit, but that will open up very quickly.
Yeah. Oh, and now with that Axe Knight kill, hello level.
And let's see, no power. Wow, 10 speed and 11 hit points and a couple of empty eye stats as well.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, where's Empty Eye when you need him? Oh, and thank you, Game Boy, for the update on McGrew, who is also running in this race, but is unstreamed.
That'll definitely be something to pay attention to, as he could be the unseen dark horse here. As since we're paying attention to the 4 on the stream here, McGrew could he could end up sneaking away and getting first in all this here, out of our vantage point.
Well, he absolutely could. He is a skilled DWR runner, so wouldn't surprise me one bit if he actually does place first in this race. Mr. Holmes finding Garenham. I'm sorry, Silverfire going to go get his torch.
I was going to say, is there space in the inventory? And, well, he's going to drop one of the fighter's rings.
Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't sold them, but I guess he's got no reason to right now. Nope, and he upgrades to the Copper Sword. I still don't understand. He was so close to the Broadsword. Why didn't he sell those fighter's rings? Oh well.
Well, I was gonna say, is there somewhere there in Rimmildar to be able to sell anything? I don't believe there's an item shop.
Oh, that's right. That's right. This is Dragon Warrior 1, so you can't sell at any shop. That's right. Oh, and as game... Oh! I thought there was a 0 after that Game Boy. Game Boy points out that Raiders Fighters Rings only sell for 15. I thought it was 150. Learn something every day.
In fairness, how often does one sell the fighter's ring?
Pretty much never. Lafkian looks like taking on a Spectre somewhere around Garenham.
And successfully takes care of it.
And Silverfire running into the Fun Police. Ryu getting a skeleton. That hurt Morrison back to start. But Lavkian does reach that magical level 7 that has hurt more.
And Holmes, meanwhile, going into the cave just north of Garenham.
And it's just some gold. If I'm reading his track right, it looks like...
I think it's the mountain cave.
It is indeed.
And we've got wings and the silver harp.
So that, along with the Stones of Sunlight that he picked up in the Grave of Garenham, he's almost to the point where he can get the Rainbow Drop. He just needs to find the Rainbow Drop cave and the cave where you exchange the staff for the harp.
And another set of wings.
Oh, this cave certainly looks like it has a more reasonable enemy set. Lavkian running into an AK-47. Can he take it down? Maybe. Maybe. And bye-bye AK. That's a nice chunk of experience for Lavkian. Jay Coper, it is indeed standard race. The only problem that I can see with that Game Boy is that they're still in one-hit range from these AK-47s. I believe they still can do 40-some-odd damage in a hit. So, but it may not be a bad idea to grind them out right now.
And just like that, Lavkian going up to level 8.
So given that agility boost, now you might get out of the one-hit range for those AK-47s, but you still can't run from... Great Sir Nico, AK-47 is an armored knight.
Although I'm curious who, if anyone, will come up with a clever name for what an Axe Knight is. Although, an Axe Knight putting Silverfire to sleep and sending him back to the castle.
So Holmes has gotten up to level 9, and is, well, you can't go east of Garenham. It looks like South has some paths, though, kind of, maybe.
Well, it's certainly windy as Holmes runs into a werewolf.
First time we have seen a werewolf, even though it is temporary.
Their wolf for Holmes and their castle for Silverfire.
Ooh, double stud, a two-town area here for Holmes. We have Cantlin in the one. So I bet you he's probably going to go stay at the inn and then go get some coordinates. No, and refill with keys.
Also very essential.
Yes.
Okay, pedestrian locked shop.
Oh, Silverfire not one hitting the X-Knight with Hurt More, and the X-Knight puts him to sleep.
Would it almost behoove you in a seed like this, dealing with those Axe Knights, to start off with Stop Spell and then try to hit with Hurt More, as opposed to just Hurt Mooring and hoping?
Yes and no, but see the problem is it looks like it's a 50-50. Does the X-Knight attack or does it sleep on the first move? So if it attacks twice in a row, you're dead. So it's close. It's very close.
No matter how you look at it, it's bowling shoe ugly. Got it.
Pretty much. All right, then let's go for it. Oh no, there is nothing on the overworld. So that means Erdrick's armor is either in Coal or it is in Hawksness. And that means the Fairy Flute is in the other location. Which shouldn't be all that surprising, given, well, there was a 1 in 3 chance of it happening, given that we did find Erdrick's token in a chest in the treasury. So it looks like the 2 search spots, that's a word. The 2 search spots in Coal and Hawksness have the armor and the Fairy Flute.
The spotches are what's left of you after the fun police takes care of you before you go to the castle.
Fair enough. Silverfire getting to level 8. Yeah, I love the search function on this game sometimes. You search on top of a treasure chest, which in most 8-bit RPGs mean you open that treasure chest. In this game, you search a treasure chest, it tells you, hey, look, there's your treasure chest. Really? Thanks.
Something along the no kidding Sherlock mind frame.
Exactly.
We got to keep this applicable for all audiences, so I'll just leave it at that.
I completely agree with you. Alright, so now we're going to check out this other town here by the swamp. If it's... hopefully it's Coal or Hawksness and not, Breckenridge.
Well, what's wrong with Six Town? I'm like the one person who actually doesn't mind Breckenridge.
Oh, look.
And there it is. Welcome to Six Town.
And nothing good in Breckenridge, so the only good thing in Breckenridge is the cheap inn.
Yep, staying at the Motel 6, they'll leave the torch on for you.
Now off to find various things in the seed we haven't seen, like Coal, Hawksness, Sherlock, none of which have been found. Ooh.
Thank you, Game Boy. I hope that LOL is for my my slight plug that won't garner any advertising residuals.
Ryu getting the gold grind up and running. It'll be interesting to see how far he takes it. And Mr. Holmes finding another town. What do we have here? We have Coal. So do we have free Erdrick's armor? Or do we have to go fight a demon for it?
Yeah, Ryu is, I was going to say, Jay Coper asking if he's going all the way. He certainly is getting his big bucks and now trying to avoid the whammy as he makes his way out of the cave to try to spend that cash. Meanwhile, Mr. Holmes has found the Fairy Flute in its vanilla location.
Is this even randomized? So, which means the Erdrick's armor will indeed be in Hawksness.
I'm sure McGrew will see that and will realize that he will probably hear about
it. So, interestingly, Ryu has gotten out of the cave with all 39,000 gold pieces.
I'm sorry, Game Boy just absolutely making me. He said, "Fred." Oh wait, he didn't write this one.
Yeah, this isn't Fred's baby. Fred's baby, which is Z1 Randomizer and SMB3 Randomizer, have the Z1R has a tournament going on right now, and then there are registrations for the SMB3 Rando tourney going on now, which I believe that starts in a week. I want to say the SMB3 Rando.
That I'm not sure of, but I did see that Mr. Holmes just finding the Jerk Cave.
Yes, the Jerk residing behind a swamp, which kind of sort of makes sense. If you're a jerk, you want to be alone.
So would that be the Shrek Cave for this particular seed?
It would indeed. And Game Boy linking those two tournaments in chat. Thank you very much, Game Boy. And I believe those are the only two rando tournaments going on right now, but I should probably plug the fact that we do have a Dragon Warrior rando tournament coming up at the end of February, which is the Chaos Mode tournament, which is where pretty much everything is made up and the enemies don't matter.
Well, they matter. It's more so the death count doesn't matter because you know it's going to be high.
Oh yeah. It's a matter of finding, all right, which enemy can I kill?
Yes, the difference between the mode that you're seeing here and Chaos Mode is, along with everything else, the enemy's statistics are randomized in terms of their strength, their hit points, their abilities. So you could have a slime that has Dragon Lord Breath and 100 hit points, and you could have a red dragon that has 7 hit points and hardly any defense. And everything in between.
Yep. And Mr. Holmes has found Hawksness, so let's see what the enemy is here. Ooh, it's a blue dragon, so Hurtmore's got a 50-50 chance here.
Meanwhile, it looks like Silverfire is in the Swamp Cave and is grinding on an Axe Knight as the Guardian to Gwalen.
Ooh, and Holmes whiffs on the second Hurtmore to take down the blue dragon, so the blue dragon has sent him back to start for his poor life choices.
And Game Boy mentioning in chat, don't forget a programming note. We do intend to have a Chaos Mode race after this one. So if you're looking to get an idea of what the tournament is about coming up in about 5 or 6 weeks from now, stay tuned after this race and you'll get your, well, not first glimpse, but, well, maybe for some of you, your first glimpse. But you'll definitely get a glimpse at what the Chaos Mode is all about.
Yep, and depending on the timing of that, you might actually see me stepping out of the commentator's booth and into possibly one of these 4 boxes. Depending on how many there are racing.
And I'll just stay right here where I belong, because it's safer that way. Oh, Jay Coper reminding me, yes, that along with things in the Chaos Mode, the amount of experience for a level up is also randomized. As we saw in a seed, I believe it was last week, where not even 500 hit points or 500 experience points had gotten you all the way up to level 10, just that quickly.
Yeah, it was fun. The one seed I didn't stream it, but I killed a slime outside of Tantagel Castle for my first kill, and it was roughly 230 experience, and all of a sudden I'm at level 8. I'm like, okay. That's fun. Nice little 45-minute seed there. We like those.
Yeah, it makes up for the 2+ hour seeds that some of these things can hit up. Silverfire, meanwhile, his grind sending him back to start, but he's done a good job of catching up experience-wise, up to level 10 and only about 80 experience points behind Mr. Holmes.
Meanwhile, Ryu is still trying to get through the swamp cave and into Garanham again. It'd be really nice if our runners head outside, because the entrance of the swamp cave that they're entering is the south entrance, and if you cast Return, or outside, in the swamp cave, it always returns you to the north entrance. So, and even if you enter the north, it will still outside you to the north. So.
And Silverfire recognizing the dead end that is the swamp to the north of Tentacle, and runs into an AK-47 that is going to be taken down.
And it looks like Mr. Holmes is doing a dance around Cole. Oh, to wear off his repel so he can cast it again before the inn? Or just stay at the inn after ringing around the Rosie and Cole. And we have a Sherlock find on Mr. Holmes' side.
Yeah, Mr. Holmes definitely with the advantage in exploration. Ryu, it looks like, making his way through the swamp cave with a lot of cash, hoping to avoid getting mugged.
Can he run? No. Oh, and he's going to get mugged.
But thanks to the power of the reset button, no, he's not.
So the other thing that Mr. Holmes right now is looking for two things at this point. He is looking for the cave to exchange the silver heart for the Staff of Rain. And he is also looking for Erdrick's sword, which could be in any chest in the game. So it's going to be interesting. If he finds the staff cave sooner rather than later, is he going to dive into Sherlock and hope that the sword is down there? Meanwhile, we have Silverfire, I believe, in a cave we haven't seen yet. And I do believe, yep, this is the Tablet Cave. Mm-hmm. So no enemies, nice free one chest here. Let's see if this chest is the, obligatory 120 gold, or maybe this has Erdrick's sword.
It would certainly be a find if it was the sword, and we've got big bucks.
No whammies?
It's one of my favorites.
As long as it wasn't that crappy reboot they tried a few years ago.
Ah, yes, with Todd Newton as the host.
Yes, that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was from... Well, it was a few more years ago than I think either of us would like to recollect, as it was, I think, 15 roughly years ago. Now that they did that. Yeah, it was around 2002, I want to say.
So it looks like Mr. Holmes is just going to bypass Hawksness and find...
more swamp.
Silverfire has found the staff cave.
But no harp to trade in.
Right. Lavkian getting his stones to go with what I'm assuming is his token.
And you wonder, since we haven't seen the lower end, is Lavkian... Yes, Lavkian's going to make that dive down.
All right, here we go. Mr. Holmes is going to take on the blue dragon again. Oh, little RNG manipulation there. Command, run!
Utilizing those nest card strats that we saw at AGDQ not too long ago.
All right, here we go. Hurt more 1 works. All right, so now what is the strategy going to be? Attack 1. No! Mr. Holmes gets it. All right, so he will have Erdrick's armor now, along with level 12.
Getting exactly on the mark. No bonus points for that, but it's always fun to just kind of hit that amount. And there it is, the armor, yes.
And I missed what was in the bottom chest for Lavkian.
Well, Silverfire finding an empty treasure chest inside the Stones of Sunlight cave.
Nora in chat seems to indicate that Erdrick's sword is indeed in the bottom of the grave.
Well, not all the way in the bottom, as Lavkian's making his way to that now.
Well, key blocked, I should say.
Yeah, it's key blocked in the cave. The very bottom looks to be the fairy water.
Yep, that was definitely the sword. Yeah, one shotting a skeleton, definitely the sword. So Erdrick's sword is indeed in the grave. So this is going to be an interesting choice for our runners.
Because a lot of them did pass that up earlier. So you wonder, is anybody else going to make the decision to go back there? Or are they going to dive into Sherlock and be ultimately very disappointed once, if and when they get to the basement?
Now, Silverfire's right here again. Is he good at... Oh, he's going down. Ooh, this is a good, quote-unquote, gamble here for Silverfire.
A risk with a great reward that he may not be aware of. And by may not, I mean obviously not, because he doesn't know yet. That's why he's taking a guess.
And he is beelining toward that chest, which is good. Question is, can he get there?
Well, the second Hurtmore misses. Will the third time be the charm? No! And we have in-stereo deaths for Silverfire and Lavkian to the AK-47s.
And that is some terrible RNG to get Hurtmore not to work 3 times. That's just terrible.
Well, he missed the first, or he got it the first time, he just missed the second and third attempts.
Oh, well, even still, that's still terrible RNG.
Yeah, 1 out of 3 is not so great. 2 out of 3, well, Meatloaf will tell you the rest.
Well, last I heard, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Thank you, Z-Loaf? I don't know.
You have no idea how accurate that is, my...
You're right, I don't. I'll just I'll take that ball and run with it, sure.
So it looks like Silverfire's on the way to get his sword. Meanwhile, Mr. Holmes is picking up his gold in the treasure chest from the tablet cave.
Lavkian back in the swamp cave to do some grinding, some Axe Knight Hurtmore grinding. Ryu, meanwhile, laboring to level 7 and able to get Hurtmore, and now has an opportunity to get back in this thing.
Yeah, but being 3,000 experience behind is not going to bode well for him, unfortunately.
Well, I said he has a chance. I didn't say it was a great chance, but he has a chance.
Fair enough. And Silverfire is going to get his sword.
I'm wondering, have we seen a large shield in any of the shops yet?
You know, I think we have. I think the large shield was in Cantlin.
Okay, I must have missed it as I think Mr. Holmes, is he the only one who has gotten to Cantlin thus far? And I think he's spent pretty much a cup of coffee in there.
Oh, Lavkian is setting up a grind for Axe Knights in the Swamp Cave.
Yes, the Axe Knight is the guardian to Gwalen, and yes, I know that Silverfire was working on that strat a little bit ago as well.
Axe Knights, when you can take down Axe Knights in general with one hit of Hurtmore, they really do give the most experience per second in the game, as long as you can take them down with the first Hurtmore. Which of course it didn't work in this case for Lavkian. But this is a good idea here for Lav. I really like this idea to try to grind out some levels now that he has the sword.
Meanwhile, Mr. Holmes has found the Staff of Rain cave and was able to get the staff, so now it's just a matter of finding the jerk. And he knows where Charlotte is, so...
Yeah, and the jerk has been found. It's, kind of northwest of some big old swamp. I have to step away for 1 second, Farron.
Alright, I'll do my best to handle things in the interim. Let's see, a stone man making Ryu's exploration a little bit short-lived. Mr. Holmes, meanwhile, back in Garenham. Was almost about to high-five Silverfire, but Silverfire making his way down into the cave. It is the mountain cave, if my memory serves me right. Lavkian taking down more Axe Knights here. And as noted, Lavkian taking a slight experience lead amongst the four competitors here. Again, McGrew also running this seed, but not pictured here among the 5 different runners. And I know he was doing pretty good last we heard here. And taking a moment to take a look, McGrew at the moment at level 12, so trailing a little bit behind Lavkian and Mr. Holmes in terms of experience. But Holmes catching up quickly, and Holmes now finding the Axe Knight guarding Gwalen. So this would certainly be a chance for Holmes to level up very quickly here, as all that Holmes is looking for is the Jerk Cave at this point. Trying to get into go time to go down to Charlotte Castle and take on that Dragon Lord.
Well, Mr. Holmes has found the Jerk Cave. It's the Harp Cave, the Harp to Staff Cave that he is looking for.
Oh, I thought I saw him go into the Harp to... the Harp to Staff Cave. He's about to say the Staff to Harp Cave.
That was Silverfire. It looks like, yeah, as you said, Mr. Holmes is doing the Axe Knight grind. Lavkian fighting up an Armored Knight right now. Ooh, looks like level 13 had heal more. That's great for the runners. Although, is that right? 68 HP at level 13? That's rather brutal.
Yeah. Well, also keep in mind that they had that Lavkian has the strength agility, so it might be a little bit more for Mr. Holmes and Ryu because of their strength HP build.
Yeah, that could very well play a part. Absolutely, it could.
Okay, even with the strength HP build, 73 HP at level 13.
We're being told in chat that Mr. Holmes does, in fact, have the staff.
Yeah, thank you, DJ Weeze, for proving that my eyes weren't playing tricks on me. I thought I saw that earlier.
There you go.
Although I'm sure they're going to play tricks on me in some other way here, so it'll all balance out.
Yeah, watching 4 streams, it's hard to pick up every single thing sometimes. Although Lavkian does look like he's making his way down to the Cantlin Coal area. Now, I do believe this is his first time in this area. So he's going to boogie right to the old man that gives the coordinates, but he's going to find that there are no coordinates out there.
And Ryu just taking down an Armored Knight, an AK-47, and getting to level 8. I'm telling you, this is where he makes his move.
That would be wonderful. I would love to see that happen.
Game Boy followed right along with me in chat. He said, so you're saying there's a chance? The way most people have been talking about it, almost as much of a chance as my Eagles do winning the big game some 13 days from now.
Well, being a Bills fan, living not too far from Philly, all I can say is fly, Eagles, fly.
Not too far. We might both be in high-fiving distance, unbeknownst to that. We'll have to chat about that after the race here.
Absolutely. Oop, and we have a level 14 pickup here for Holmes, and it's
modest,
solid, but nothing spectacular, yeah. That's for sure. Lavkian picking up his large shield.
Oh, there we go.
And his fairy flute. Oh, it looks like Silverfire is going to go test out this boss. So it looks like Silverfire is going to do the Axe Knight grind for a little bit.
And Silverfire hitting 13 and seeing that Healmore is in the mix. Holmes, meanwhile, I believe just 2 experience shy of level 15. Oh, no, wait, my calculations are off on that. That's right, 41, 56. Okay, so I'm sorry, he's quite a bit more than 2. That's right. another 1,247, or something along the... Or no, yeah, 1,247 will get him to level 15.
And
Usually I have my chart in front of me, but I rushed out of here, so I'm flying blind without my notes here. I'm kind of going off of memory, and as you have heard over the course of the last 64, almost 65 minutes, that is a scary thing.
And it looks like Lavgian is about to pick up his Erdrick's armor. And he is using the brute force method and not the hurt more prey method.
Takes a little bit more time, but it has proven to be effective.
And he gets his Erdrick's armor. So now, I can't remember, did he do a gold grind for a silver shield? No, that's right, he just bought large shield. So he right now has Erdrick's large. And Silverfire getting Gwaelin.
No, I think Silverfire's sprite is Gwaelin.
Well, alright, fine. Silverfire getting the hero. Well, Guimond, I suppose, I guess is what McGrew has coded it as.
Oh. Holy role reversal, Batman.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, is he gonna... No. Okay, so he is going to return the Guimond. Okay. I thought for a second there he might be setting up 3-some%.
I feel like I should ask for an explanation on that, knowing the answer, but we'll just stay classy and let people put things to their imagination on that one.
I shall explain. It is not as interesting as it sounds. It's when you carry, well, in this case, Guimond to battle Dragonlord. All the way into the castle just to battle the Dragonlord.
Meanwhile, Mr. Holmes now one over the level for level 15, or make it 131 now at that Axe Knight.
He checked his stats so quickly I couldn't get a glimpse of them.
Oh, I saw that the strength was 108. Or not the strength, I'm sorry, the attack
power. Okay. And that, I believe, is with Broadsword and not with Erdrick's Sword. So, if memory serves, Erdrick's Sword is a plus 20 upgrade over the Broadsword? I think?
I believe so. That's something else that would be on my notes that I don't have here.
I think the Broadsword is plus 20, and I think Erdrick's is plus 40. So that's a plus 20 upgrade, which would put him at 125 if he found the sword. Which
128.
Right, so yeah, that would be 128, which would be divide by 2.
7 to 14 range.
7 to 14, yeah.
I can do numbers. That I can do.
So he's approaching Dragonlord from the strength point of view, but that's really about all.
Yeah, hit point wise, we still have a ways to go. Oh, actually, no. As I say that, he's at 104. So there was a nice boost the last couple of levels here.
Yeah. So right now, MP is MP and the lack of Erdrick's Sword is the limiting factor at this point. Oh, and this is going to be so depressing for Silverfire. He's going to go talk to the old man in Catelyn only to find that there are, in fact, no coordinates.
Go forth and find Hawksness for thy Erdrick armor.
Or coal for thy fairy flute.
Or coal for thy fairy flute.
Meanwhile, Mr.
Or go
Holmes
find McGrew to declare not random enough.
And Mr. Holmes is still grinding on those axe knights. Oh, and we have switched out to McGrew, it appears, so... Alright. Now that
Sorry,
cave...
Ryu, I was pulling for you.
That cave down there, I think that McGrew just kind of got a glimpse of. I believe that is the jerk.
He got a quicker glimpse, or not as quick of a glimpse as I did. I didn't even see it. I see. You have to go around to it here. All right. So I think he is kind of looping around, and he's making his way to that northwest corridor there. And yes, that is in fact the Jerk Cave.
So he is going to be the first one of the top 4 here to get the rainbow drop.
And Game Boy, thank you for providing those level 15 stats. I've got 86 strength, 79 agility, 104 HP, 67 MP. Ooh, so that's man, that is only 8 heal mores at 67. So yeah, not quite go time yet.
Nope, not quite. And McGrew also is doing the strength HP build. Silverfire finding Sherlock Castle.
But still needing... I was gonna say, unless... Did Silverfire get the silver harp and we missed it?
I don't know. If he got it, we missed it, that's for sure.
I can barely see that. I'm looking at this and it almost reminds me of the old press your luck board. Except I don't have Michael Larson to memorize the patterns.
Yeah, right. Alright, so it looks like McGrew is going to head back up towards Sherlock. Or, no, Garinham? Well, no, you have to go around from Garinham to get to Sherlock, I do believe. Yeah, so he is headed in the direction of Sherlock. Okay, that cave that McGrew is just passing by, that was the Staff Cave, I do believe, right there.
Yes, that was the Staff of Rain Cave.
Mm-hmm. So now I think McGrew just needs to head right, and he will find Sherlock. I think. Or not.
Yeah, very hard to map this out, whether you're a runner, a racer, a commentator, a tracker, a chatter, and everything in between.
And it looks like Holmes is just about going to hit. I think this kill should give him level 16. Let's see if level 16 gives him anything good. Oh, accidentally puts him to sleep. Now let's see if level 16 gives him anything good.
That would be not really.
I think that gives him one extra cast of, right? Because he's at 76 MP. So 76 MP. That's an extra.
So
yeah,
that's 9 heal mores.
That's 9 heal mores, and that's still not enough.
And the strength is now 109's. Or I'm sorry, the attack power is now 109. The strength is 87.
So what do we have here? It kind of looks like we have McGrew, it looks like, looking for Sherlock. We have Mr. Holmes grinding, but doesn't have Erdrick's sword. We have Silverfire, who I don't think has the silver harp. And we have Lavkian, who doesn't have the silver harp, but has everything else.
Lavkian just got the silver harp a moment ago. He is currently in the mountain cave.
Oh, okay, there you go then. So now Levkian just needs to find the jerk, if he hasn't already. So these 4 runners are definitely at 4 very different places in the seed.
But at the same time, not too terribly far apart.
Right, exactly. This is, if McGrew finds Sherlock relatively quickly, he is indisputably in the lead. If Levkian finds the jerk and gets to Sherlock first, he's in the lead.
Well, I think that the levels are still low enough that even if they were to get to Sherlock and take a dive down there, it may not work out so well.
Yeah, it depends on what's in Sherlock. I mean, I don't think I've seen a single warlock.
Yeah, warlocks and wizards, I think, or no, I did see, I think, one wizard, but yeah, no warlocks. I know we saw a werewolf. We definitely saw a green dragon. Saw a stone man at some point add to the COD count. Lafkian passing up on the free chest.
So now I think if he goes right, this is he should be coming up on the staff cave relatively quickly.
Holmes, meanwhile, has found the jerk.
And so has Silverfire. Oh no, I'm sorry, Silverfire has found the Staff of Rain.
And right behind him, high-fiving on the way out, Lavkian. Or Silverfire on the way out, Lavkian on the way in. So Lavkian now has the Staff of Rain. And Mr. Holmes has found Sherlock.
Oh, he's going to dive Sherlock looking for the sword. Oh, and we know this is the wrong choice to make.
Well, as noted in chat, thank you, DJ Weeze, playing the percentages, it's definitely the way to go, but the result once he gets down there will not be favorable.
Ooh, and we have armored knights here on this first floor of Sherlock. That's not good.
There's a nice, hey, how you doing? Welcome to Sherlock. Some AK-47s and stone men.
And blue dragons. Oh my god. This is not the Sherlock that they want. Well, it's fine for grinding, kind of, but it's not going to be... This is not going to be a quick dive.
As Game Boy pointing out, especially on 79 agility.
Yeah. Lord Merriam, no, that is not the Princess Moonbrook from Dragon Warrior 2. That is Princess Gwaelin from Dragon Warrior 1. That is the princess that is locked in the swamp cave, but is now made a playable character.
And Lavkian has found Six Town.
Lord Merriam, I have never played the SNES, so I don't know what color her... And McGrew getting to level 15? Which was there we go. That was a big HP gain.
That's where the MP or the HP boost was.
Yeah, that's where the HP came from. Yep. Oh, and Mr. Holmes taking down a red dragon.
Well, it's easy when you have that Kaishin no Ichigeki, or however you pronounce it.
And Silverfire has found the jerk and now has his rainbow drop. And so does Levkian at the same exact time.
We have hit the 1 hour and 20-minute mark here, and McGrew has stepped out of Sharlock and is making his way back into Cole. Holmes, meanwhile, diving a little bit deeper and having some fun with the fun police.
We're trying to have some fun with him. Silverfire heading back into the swamp cave to go battle the Axe Knight bosses to do some leveling. Of course, he has to get through an armored knight to get there. Boy, Mr. Holmes only has one heal more left. Can he get down to the treasury? All right, well, looks like this floor with green dragons, this floor should be a little easier to manage.
I mean, look how many MP it took just to get to the second basement or second level basement of Sharlock.
Well, true, but I also don't think Mr. Holmes is treating this the same way he would a real dive. So I believe his intent is to gain as many experience points on the way down as he can.
Okay, so it's more of a grind dive and hopefully get to the treasury than a legit preserve every magic point that you can type dive.
Right. This is a dive specifically for the treasury. And it looks like McGrew is going to grind on the blue dragons. Interesting. So we've got two different grinding going on the top row. We have Silverfire grinding on the Axe Knights, and we have McGrew grinding on the blue dragons. So let's see. Right now they're at about, a 1,200 experience point difference. Let's see if Silverfire closes that gap or if McGrew just lengthens it.
Well, I think it's I was going to say Silverfire is just about out of MP, so that's going to give McGrew a chance to extend that experience lead between the two of them. Although Mr. Holmes closing in on level 17 should be able to get it here if he takes out this red dragon.
Will it? It will indeed. All right, let's see what we have here at 16.
4, 5, 2, and 8.
Jay Coper, blue dragons aren't necessarily pushovers, but all they do is attack. Axe Knights do have sleep, which is, can be a bad thing. So there's a torch. Now, we know there's not going to be anything good in here, because all the good items have been found. We have the fighter's ring, we have the death necklace, and we have everything else. So this is just nothing. So my guess is he's going to do his best to make it back to the, try to maybe get into
Vanilla Eric's sword?
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to get there. He might take down this red dragon, but that'll be it. Yeah, you got the red dragon. Let's see what we got. And there's another one. And this will pretty much be the end of Holmes.
Game Boy pointing out in chat, good thing that Holmes found that out while he still has some levels to gain.
Agreed. So let's see now if Mr. Holmes makes the play down here for the two chests here. I would think he does. Yep, and that
He's beelining for it.
Mm-hmm. Which we know is absolutely the correct play.
This is interesting. Silverfire abandoning the Axe Knight grind and going over to Hawk's Nest and following suit with the Blue Dragon grind in Hawk's Nest.
Yeah, I think this makes a ton of sense because the Axe Knights do have sleep, and that sleep can really wreck you.
And I know we were talking earlier about whether stop spell would be a good way to go, but I guess the time of taking stop spell with each attack and with the low amount of MP in this seed, it would drain you, and you'd be spending more time going back and forth to the inn than actually grinding levels.
Yeah. So Game Boy posting level 17 stats here. Boy, this is borderline. This is super borderline. Because you have, 10 heal mores. You've got 111 HP, which is more than the quote-unquote required that you need. It should allow you to get some double attacks in, but that agility is super low. And given how brutal Sherlock is, I think you're going to need at least 1 or 2 heal mores on the way down. I wouldn't feel comfortable going at 17. I think he's got to get to at least 18 or 19 to have a chance.
Well, plus strength-wise or power-wise, going up against the Dragon Lord, he's got the sword now, so he's looking at 133 attack power. That's going to put you at an attack range of 8 to 16 against the Dragon Lord. So you're averaging 12 per. So you're going to need. Oh wow, that's at least 14 attack.
Yeah,
Not
see?
knowing all the calculations, I'm thinking, right now you're looking at a less than 50-50 chance.
I would think so. Especially, like I said, considering how you're probably not getting down there with 10 heal mores. You're probably getting down there more realistically with 8 or 9. Rufford asks in chat, how did Holmes get such an experience lead? He found most of what he needed early and was able to start grinding earlier than most of the runners.
And then spent a good amount of time just going after those Axe Knights and not getting put to sleep by them. Oh, and now Mr. Holmes using the gold grind in the grave of Garanham, so looking perhaps to grind up to a silver shield to help negate some of that brutality of Sherlock by getting the silver shield and maxing out all the equipment.
Absolutely. It's really good strategy here from Holmes.
Brilliant play.
So now I don't know what McGrew has, but I'm pretty sure now. Well, Lavkian, I'm pretty sure does not have the silver shield, whereas Silverfire, I'm pretty sure does.
McGrew has the large shield. I was just able to see a quick glance at him checking his stats.
Okay. So Silverfire and Holmes have the silver, Lavkian and McGrew have the large. Okay.
Holmes now in Garanham, maxing out on herbs, heading on over to the weapon shop.
He's gonna grab. Yep. Nice.
There's that silver shield.
Now he's probably gonna take him in. It's gonna be. And he is gearing up like he's gonna make a run down there. Maxing out on herbs, casting repel before going to the inn. It certainly seems like he's going to try to go down.
Well, with the silver shield now, I mean that bump in defense, that will allow Holmes to damage break a lot more enemies. Granted, the Red Dragon not being one of them, but I mean with 92 defense, I mean you don't have to worry about wizards, you don't have to worry about star wyverns, you don't have to worry about werewolves. Granted, we haven't seen really many of those within Sherlock, but the closer you can get to damage breaking some of those tougher enemies, the better of a chance you're going to have running down through Sherlock, even if you can't necessarily get away from all the different enemies with the low agility that you have.
We're still grinding on this blue dragon here. McGrew having roughly 1,700 experience edge on Silverfire.
And Lavkian kind of hanging in the mix as well. Lavkian working on that Axe Knight grind strategy in the Swamp Cave. And you can see he's only about 500 experience behind McGrew.
Yeah. And it seems like he's beating more or less 2 Axe Knights for every 1 that McGrew gets of the Blue Dragon. So he is catching up. Ooh, except now, of course, he has no MP.
Well, he lucked out there in that the Axe Knight didn't cast Sleep, but I mean he's still going for it. I guess he figures if I fight and beat him, great. If not, well, I'm going to just death warp back to the castle.
Exactly. And so Mr. Holmes, quote unquote, braving Sherlock. Although I can't think he's the. I wonder if he's maybe going to do a little grind here on the boss before Dragon Lord. Maybe.
Well, he's not that far away from level 18. I mean, to get to level 18, it's 14,250. So you're only looking at 441 experience to get to the next level. So depending on what that boss is right before the Dragon Lord, you can see there he just took out an Armored Knight for 172. So now you're looking at what, about 269 experience. So that's 2 enemies basically. Or if you can get a red dragon here, a red dragon and anything else.
Lavkian is now 300 experience, 200 experience behind McGrew. 250.
Well, it makes sense. I mean, you were saying it's about 2 Axe Knights to every 1 blue dragon, so that's difference of about 80 per in that same time frame. So Lavkian can catch up for pretty much 80 experience with every one of those 2-to-1s. But there's the sleep that we were talking about, and that's the gamble that you taking on these Axe Knights here.
Yep. Ooh, and he gets put to sleep again and wrecked.
Holmes, meanwhile, is back into Cantlin.
Oh, he did get level 18. I missed that. Oh, let's see. So 12. Wow. Oh, wow.
12, 8, 1, and 22.
So, Game Boy, if you don't mind posting the stats for Holmes for level 18, that would be wondrous. Because I think that level is going to be enough to get him there. May not necessarily be a completely free fight, but it's certainly over 50%.
So, yeah, there we go. Just as I'm doing the math on pen and paper here, Game Boy's got it up there. So 103 strength. So you're looking at 143. Yep, 10 to 21 damage, 13 heal mores.
Boy, I think that's with high rolls, it's rather fight. So I think this is certainly the level to run like hell. Of course, the red dragons are having none of it.
Well, if you can't run, sometimes the occasional Kaishin will certainly work.
Lavkian taking a look at his levels, he's doing a real long thought. And he's going to 18 as well, as is McGrew. McGrew's going to 18 too.
Well, and again, we mentioned, assuming the max HP, it's 13 heal mores, but Holmes already down 2 heal mores, as Game Boy pointing out here. So right now he's got 11 if he doesn't use another one, but he's already in jeopardy here and barely able to take out that red dragon, but now using yet another. With each one that he uses, it just gets that much more dicey.
I still think he's okay, though, because he's got 10 heal mores with 10 to 21 damage, so that's what? So you're doing on average 15, so on average 10 kills gets him.
Yeah, so you're right in that 10 to 11 strike range, and he's got 10 heal mores, so it's close, but
his odds are
going to drop significantly if he uses another heal more by the time he gets down there.
Well, and I think I agree with Game Boy in chat that he can probably lose 2 and be okay, unless his RNG is just stupid bad. I would say if he loses 2, he's roughly 50-50. I think right now he's probably in the, not necessarily guaranteed, but in the 80-90% area, just because he pretty much is a 1-to-1 ratio between attacks and heal mores, which is right where you want to be.
Well, he is utilizing the RLH strats and doing a very good job of doing so.
McGrew and Silverfire are just right on top of each other experience-wise, and Silverfire a little bit behind, but still not out of the... He's still within shouting distance.
And Lavkin, it looks like, took another death, so...
Yeah, he had no MP left, so that was an intentional one.
Oh, it was intentional, okay. And Mr. Holmes is on the basement.
So as long as there's not a red dragon here, he should be okay. Then we haven't seen what... Oh, boy. Oh, here's a commentator's curse.
Let it be noted for the record, I was silent at that particular moment. Just so that way they know which commentator to curse once they go back and listen to this. Or something along those lines.
But Mr. Holmes does get out of that fight without having used... We have a golem. Interesting. We haven't really seen what a golem has, so... Toot toot on the flute.
It's a heck of a time to find out.
So, just to note that right before Lavkian killed this enemy, Lavkian and McGrew were separated by exactly 9 experience.
Well, we see that the golem has hurt.
Which is reasonable, because that doesn't do a whole heck of a lot.
And it was cast fairly often, and Holmes has made his way through the golem and is about to have a chat with the Dragon Lord. Hold B, right. And you can see he is.
Thou art a fool. Oh, geez, 53 with a stop spell? This could be a really nice DL1 fight. Oh, that's a beautiful DL1 fight right there.
Two shot, about as good as you can get. No back attack, and we're already at 11 on the low side of the roll. But a chance for a double, 21. Okay, so we're at 32, and not going to risk it.
Purple area.
Oh, another beefy one. We're up to 54, I believe.
But the Dragon Lord has been doing nothing but attacking. This is God RNG for Holmes.
Holmes up to 86.
That's the first fire that Dragon Lord has breathed. And it was... this is God RNG. Holmes has this. This is free from here on out. This unless he mismenus, this is free from here on in.
Oh yeah, he's already up to now 141, so he's probably one, maybe two strikes away. There it is.
There it is. What a fight. That was the RNG on that fight was just incredible.
Well, there we go. Get out your GGs. Mr. Holmes is going to take it here with, what do we have for the SRL time? 141.23?
4. 141.24. So now we have McGrew and Lavkian both racing. They're doing the run like hell strats down. Sherlock, this is going to be a good race for second here.
And meanwhile, looks like we are bringing Ryu back into the to the fold here.
Yep, Ryu at level 13.
McGrew racing through the fun police and trying to get down there to the bottom of the castle. Silverfire, meanwhile, trying to grind up to level 18 and looks like one more Blue Dragon away from doing so. About another 129 experience.
And with that ding, I do believe we have Mr. Holmes joining us in Discord. Great race. Hey, great race, my friend.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
Yeah, that early grind was just terrible.
Yeah. I am very unfortunate, but very fortunate that I found that Drakey. Because I encountered several enemies in that first zone, and I thought the Ghost was the best I was going to get.
Yeah, then that first... Yeah, it was either the Ghost or the Magicians that were easiest to kill in that first zone.
Well, no, it was the Drakey. At level 1, you couldn't kill any of those other guys.
Yeah, but the Drakeys had Dragon Lord Breath.
You couldn't beat anything because you only had 10 HP.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
But the Drakeys only took like 2 to 3 hits, so... Lord Breath, thankfully.
It was a calculated risk, to say the least.
Yeah, it was tough, but I'm glad that once you got level 2, you could... okay, so to say. Like, you could slowly punch your way up. And then Hurtmore came, and then it was just Axe Knights and Arbor Knights in the Swamp Cave for a while, and
Yep, and that's really kind of where you pulled away from McGrew, because for the first, I don't know, bit, you and McGrew were really kind of neck and neck, but then once you started grinding on those Axe Knights, you really took a large experience on McGrew rather quickly, because he decided to grind on the Blue Dragons and Hawksness.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about it originally. My original logic was, okay, Axe Knights are easy to kill, but crap, they have sleep. But still, they're easy to kill, and they may not even get a sleep off. They're close to the starting castle, and just like walk right back in there. So that was the first thought. But then I got sleep locked a couple times. I was like, maybe this isn't a good idea. But I think you just use a bit too much magic up fighting the Blue Dragon. It wasn't really an option until you got more health. When we had 105 health, I would have considered the Blue Dragon, but with 70 health, no way was I going to fight that guy.
Yeah, I think it makes
24 MP a fight.
Yeah.
And you only had like 60 MP to begin with, so yeah, it turns out that seemed to be a good decision.
So I have to make mention of your Dragon Lord 2 fight. My goodness, was that a good fight for you?
Sure, I definitely got a lot of 20s.
Yeah, that, and it took, Dragon Lord, a good 5 turns before he even breathed fire the first time?
Something like that. Yeah, I felt pretty comfortable in that fight regardless. I expected to have 2 heal mores left over. And I think I had 4.
Yeah, 4 or 5, yeah.
So yeah, definitely a favorable fight. I'd like to have those on a closer fight. I'll take it. I'm not going to complain.
Absolutely. Just to kind of give you an update as to where others are, McGrew is currently fighting Dragon Lord 2.
Awesome.
Lavkian just beat the Golem and is just talking to Dragon Lord 1 now, and Silverfire is making his way down to the Dragon.
Cool stuff.
And Ryu just picked up Erdrick's sword.
Nice. Is he ready to fight, or does he have to recoup?
No, Ryu had a very tough, very, very tough early seed. He's only at level 13 now.
I understand that completely. I can absolutely understand that, because it was very tough to get out of level 1. And if you didn't get the right RNG, there's nothing you could do.
Yeah, I think he determined pretty early that you did have to beat the Drakies at first, and they were just making charcoal out of them left and right. It really was a bit ridiculous.
I think kind of what my backup plan was to try and just tank it through the swamp cave and hope there was something there. And thankfully it would have been Grinham. The backup's backup. But thankfully it didn't come to that.
And ladies and gentlemen, McGrew has finished in second place in this seed with an efficient 1 hour, 47 minutes, and 41 seconds. Get out your GGs for McGrew. And Lavkian is not far behind him.
So do you have any other questions? If not, I'll kind of clear the way for the other competitors.
No, I'm good. Firon?
You pretty much nailed everything that I was going to add to it. I just didn't want to step on anybody here. So, no, GG, Mr. Holmes. Fantastic job as always, and keep kicking butt like you do.
All right, thanks so much. As a final note, that first zone of Charlotte was absolutely brutal.
Yeah, that first zone was brutal. And I believe we have McGrew in here. GG.
How's it going? Can you hear me?
Anything
Yeah,
you'd
we
like
got
to
you here.
Yeah, we got you. Anything you guys want to say about the seed to each other, maybe?
Tough start, tough finish, but fulfilling.
I don't know. The finish was kind of easy. I don't know what level you finished at, but
Rough go through the first zone of Charlock in my final descent. I used 3 heal mores on the way, so it was tough sledding.
yeah, sounds like it. Yeah, I made it through my first shot and without using any heal mores at all, actually. So
That's awesome.
Yep. Everybody finished at level 18.
Speaking of tough, Lavkian falling to the Dragon Lord and is now making his way back through. Silverfire,
damn.
meanwhile, currently working on the Dragon Lord.
Yeah, so McGrew, you and Lavkian basically entered Sherlock at the same time, but unfortunately, Lavkian got terrible encounter RNG and he was down to 70 some odd MP by the time he got to the Dragon Lord.
Wow.
Wow.
And
Yeah,
Still should have been winnable, but maybe did he just run out of magic or did he take a risk?
I'm pretty sure he ran out of magic.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah, probably could have won with that. I don't know.
So, question for McGrew: did you find the sword in a timely manner, or did you have to go all the way through Sherlock before realizing it was in Garen's grave, like me?
No, I did find it in Garen's grave. Not too early, but I was around level 10, maybe something like that.
Oh, that's nice. Helped with the blue dragons. Apparently, like I grinded on the Axe Knights in the Swamp Cave, but I didn't have the sword, so blue dragons weren't really a feasible option.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I went through the Swamp Cave once, and then when I died on the other side of the cave, I went to Garen's grave.
Cool. I need gold grind early to pick up the broadsword and full plate. I hadn't even gone through the Swamp Cave at this point once. I just died to the Axe Knights and the Armored Knights in there.
Yeah, I didn't even attempt the Swamp Cave until I got hurt more. So.
Well, my beginning went so tough, I didn't find a Drakey for a really long... I had no idea they were there. I just saw ghost, magician, ghost, Magidrakey. And I was thinking, am I going to have to just critical hit something?
Yeah.
Boulder? I was like, am I going to have to walk there? And then finally, just doing something else, all of a sudden a Drakey. Okay, let's stay here. Otherwise, I was kind of screwed.
Yeah, I fought one Drakey, and then the second one killed me, and then I came back and found another one finally, and got me level 2 anyway.
I think I got that around like 10, 12 minutes in.
Yeah, I don't remember how long it took me. I don't think it took too long, but
once I knew they were there, that was the plan. But it took me a while to realize they were there.
yeah, I went to Rimmildar, and I got 2 keys, and then kind of wish I'd bought the copper sword first instead, but because it took a little while to get going.
Yeah.
I think we have Silverfire.
Hello. So, I'm hearing that other people had a disaster early game as well. What level did you guys hit? Level 2? Because I hit it around 10 minutes in.
Yeah, I actually don't know. I don't know if you guys were watching.
Yeah, so we had the first 4 that were up were Silverfire, Holmes, Lavkian, and Ryu. And Silverfire and Holmes hit level 2 roughly around the same time, with Lav and Ryu a little bit behind that.
Okay. So I guess I was last to hit level 2, or I was pretty late.
10 minutes sounds about right, so you probably were right with Silver and Mr. Holmes.
Okay. So I know I died a few times trying to fight ghosts and stuff, and then I found Drakeys and fought those, but...
And yeah, fought those and got burned.
What I actually ended up doing is I managed to sneak through the Swamp Cave and bought a club. And then I was able to kill a magician.
Yeah, but you were left, Silverfire, you were easily the first one to like levels 3 and 4. Right after that.
Yeah, because I had a club and I could kill magicians.
Right, yeah, you were killing magicians, with 1 or 2 hits without having to use heal. So you had that early advantage there, I would say.
The part that I really had problem is actually level 7 when I finally got hurt more. I'm like, oh yeah, there's an Axe Knight over in the Swamp Cave. Let me go hurt more it. And then I proceed to just die repeatedly after hurt mooring it once, and then getting put to sleep. And just my hurt more would not one-shot it to save my life.
That was some tough RNG that did kind of set things back. At least
I think I lost a good 8 minutes to that before even killing it a few times and getting another level.
Which one of you? It might have been Holmes, or was it you, Silverfire, that hit was going after an Armored Knight, and I think 2 out of your 3 Hurtmores missed?
That was me.
That was you. Yeah, that was just ridiculous.
Yeah, I seen you hit the first one, and then I saw that the second one to put him out, that one missed, and then tried for the third one. The second tried a second time for for that second hit, that missed, and it's like, oh no, Silverfire's back to the start.
That's kind of how this run went for me. I also saved the princess for no reason, or the prince for no reason.
Apparently, you're using
I mean, I saved it. Yeah, I saved it on the speculation that it's like if I find Caitlin and it has the coordinates, I want the GPS in hand because the coordinates are almost definitely going to be on the big continent and not the starting small continent.
Yeah, that was a good chance of that anyway, but there were no coordinates, so.
Yep.
But hey, at least everybody got to see Guimond.
Yeah,
that's true. Prince Guimond.
Everybody got to see see Gwaelin carrying around Prince Guimond.
Well, for a second there, I thought you might have been going 3%, but then I'm like, wait, has he seen Caitlin?
I debated on rescuing the princess.
I mean, if you die, then it ruins 3% anyway.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And I had no expectations that I was getting through that seed without more deaths. Not with how fun police and armored knights were just all over the place. Axe knights had sleep. Was I the only one who... Okay, I see I'm not the only one grinding on blue dragons instead of axe knights.
Yeah, I ground on blue dragons.
Yeah, Holmes grinded on axe knights. And you kind of did both.
I was a couple points of agility short of defense breaking them. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, I just had the large shield, so I wasn't really even close to defense breaking him, I don't think.
Oh, what I did is I duped on the chest in Garen's grave, and I went all the way up to 32k, expecting to die trying to walk back out with that gold. I did die, but then I was able to go buy a silver shield in Garenham with that money.
Cool.
That was like early enough that I really valued that defense.
Yeah, everybody pretty much ground on that chest for something early game that we saw. Ryu and Holmes and Lav grinded on it for a broadsword and a full plate armor.
Yeah, I regretted not having a little bit more so that I could also grab at least a broadsword, if not a full plate. But I don't know.
Yeah, I guess I'm the only one.
Gold go before it overflows.
Yeah, I didn't grind any gold, so
I don't even know. Like, I went to 32k. I wasn't sure if it would screw up if I went much higher than that.
Well, we were watching. Go ahead.
It tops out at 65,000 something.
Oh, okay, 65. Okay.
Yeah.
We were watching Ryu grind.
1,000 more to afford a broadsword and a full plate after dying as well.
Yeah, Ryu ground up, I think, to 42,000, give or take.
Yeah.
So
that's basically what I was suggesting, but didn't do.
Yeah.
And Lavkian just finishing up at an even 1 hour and 58 minutes.
This was certainly a fun and challenging seed. I'm kind of glad about the bug being fixed about early game stats because we weren't getting these kind of early game stats last patch.
That's true.
Yeah.
It would be literally impossible to have stats this low at level 1.
Yep, I'm glad I finally got around to fixing
it
that.
made the early game a bit of a puzzle.
Yeah, there's high starting stats kind of made things a little too easy. I finally got around to fixing that. Been so busy the last couple months, but
yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. So, do you have any more questions for McGrew or for Silverfire? Fearon?
Well, I will kind of throw a slight sly one toward McGrew here. So, your thoughts on the fairy flute being in Cole and the Erdrick armor being in Hawksness?
Yeah, I was hoping that for the armor in Cole, and Yeah. Then I didn't even pick up the fairy flute. I didn't think I would need it, and then it turns out the golem was the guardian, but it was no big deal. I probably wouldn't have used it anyway.
All he did was spam hurt for me. I regretted not finding out that earlier, so that I could grind on that.
Yeah, I ran away from about 3 of them earlier in the game, so that would have been nice to know.
Oh, if you're curious what happened to my timer, by the way, I was doing some math on how many blue dragons I needed for a level up, so I could figure out how many non-blue...
I tried him the first try, and I think Hurtmore failed one of the times, and he killed me. And then I came back and fought him again and beat him. So
for me it was like Hurtmore missed, and I ran away successfully, and then healed back up.
I didn't think about that. I guess I could have done that. Of course, it turned out that I had Erdrick Sword at the time, so I actually, when I beat him, I just Hurtmore him once and then hit him, and he died. So
yeah, that's what I ended up doing too.
Yeah,
Well,
no, it
GG's
was a
all
bad
around,
seed.
yeah.
Just the level 18 was a little much, but whatever.
Yeah, I went to 18 too, because it's like 17 was like, I think I have a bare chance of doing it at 17, but
Yeah,
the blue dragon was just so fast. I'm just going to do one more level, and then like that one more level is like overkill plus stats.
yeah. It was. I did the math at 17. I was figuring 144 damage. I would have needed at least one double attack, and with the hit points I had and the large shield, I didn't see it happening. And I don't think it did actually anytime during the fight. So
I hear you guys are doing a chaos race after this.
If people are interested, I know I certainly am interested. So, and I think with that thing, we have Lavkian, who if we do have this chaos thing, Lavkian is going to take over for me, and I'm going to go hop in the runner's booth.
Yeah, go do that.
Good luck on chaos.
Oh, thank you. I am going to take out of here and get set up for the chaos race. So I'll hand it to you, Firon and Lavkian. Have a good night, everybody.
Alrighty, good luck, Z-Man.
Thank you.
Well, this should certainly be fun. I guess before Lavkian hops into the host chair here, your thoughts on the run here in the seed.
That start was terrible. Did anyone put on the death necklace? Because I really thought long and hard about putting that thing on.
yeah, my hit points was nowhere close enough to. I only had 102 hit points.
No, I meant at level 1.
Oh, no.
I had such a heck of a time. I think it took me like 7 or 8 minutes just to get to level 2. It took me a really long time.
Yeah, I think it took everyone else about that long too, from what I heard. So it took me about 10 or 11, something like that, and everyone else took around 10 minutes. So
what did you do after that? I'm curious what the difference was.
I'm honestly not sure. I mean, I after that I grinded to about level 4, I think, and then I went up to Rimaldar, and I found the sword fairly early. I mean, I don't remember. I was probably 30 minutes in when I found the sword, something like that.
Well, we weren't able to see McGrew's feed for at least the first 45 minutes to an hour of the race. At one point, Ryu was kind of swapped out for McGrew, but from what we could see, I think where a little bit of the earliness came from luck of who was able to either at first take out those enemies right around the start there, because Drakey's ended up having Dragon Lord Breath, and those were the first. Those were your best chances of being able to beat something to get to level 2, as the ghosts and magicians were a little too much. But I think a little bit of it also was being able to get through the swamp cave and get to Garenham on the other side. That had some gold that allowed, that at least allowed Silverfire, among others, to be able to get some weapons and armor to be able to withstand some of those things. That was how he was able to level up pretty early on.
Yeah, I ended up sticking around there for a little bit, and then I guess I'm assuming no one else did the slow gold grind to get the armor. I mean, that's one of the first things that I decided to do once I saw that there was full plate in Garinham, but I'm not really super sure that whether or not that paid off.
There were. I mean, pretty much everybody found a way to use that chest down in the grave to do I guess in a sense, a reverse gold grind, since there weren't any gold chests in the treasury. And I mean, some used them to, I believe, Silverfire and Holmes used them to get the silver shield, and you, as well as McGrew and Ryu, had used them to get some combination of either the full plate and or the broadsword.
Yeah, actually,
Wow,
I didn't.
Silverfire went all the way up to Silver Shield?
That's correct. Yeah, I mean, it took him a little while to do so, but he eventually got there. Yes.
Yeah, I actually didn't grind. I didn't do a gold grind. I think I was the only one that didn't. But when I got to Garinham, I bought I think chainmail, and that was it.
Yeah. That nonetheless, that notwithstanding, yeah. So there were 2 gold grinds for full plate and or broadswords, and 2 for the silver shield. And Holmes actually did that gold grind very late into the run, knowing that in the grave there were those AK-47s that were being decimating all over the place.
And the Fun Police and AK-47s were everywhere.
Yeah, I had some really good luck running from the Fun Police today. I don't know. Seemed like almost every time I encountered one, the second try I got away until I got to Sharlock anyway.
Yeah, one of them, there was an AK-47 that cost me 2 heal mores in Sharlock, and then I got picked off by Dragonlord 2, so that cost me my first fight, and then I almost repeated the same thing again on my second run. It was down to the wire on those 2.
Yeah, I beat him my first time, level 18. I didn't have any trouble getting to Dragonlord. I still had full MP when I got there.
I think that probably, if I were to go back and watch this, I think the biggest difference maker is I didn't think to check the Swamp Cave boss until maybe 40 minutes in, and I think there's probably a lot more people who just like got to level 7, got the hurt more, and they're like, let's go check this boss, and then it was an Axe Knight, and then if you sit there and kill that thing until you get heal more, it's gonna up your chances a lot of actually being able to explore. So I think that was the main thing that I did that maybe was a mistake. It's just not doing that sooner.
I don't know. I actually didn't try that boss.
You just grind. You just
nice to know.
You just were in Hawksness doing Blue Dragons. Is that what everyone else was doing?
At the end, yeah, I was just on Blue Dragons on Hawksness. I just fight him until I ran out of MP, and then go back to Cole and heal, and then go back until I got to level 18.
Wow, I cannot believe that our times were so far apart doing that. I'm really gonna have to watch the VOD back on that one.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I did differently, but I know it took me a while to find Sharlock. That was like the last thing I found.
Yeah, Sharlock was the last thing I found too, and I had like walked everywhere I walked everywhere south, and then I walked up northwest, and I found Jerk before I found Shrine. So I had to walk up to Shrine and then switch that out and then go all the way back down to Jerk and then walk all the way back up. And I was like, okay, I know there's this area like northwest of Shrine that I haven't really explored at all. So it's got to be up there. And then, of course, it wasn't. Oh, my gosh, man. Oh, just brutal. What a map.
I think I checked the whole map twice and then finally found it.
Oh man, yeah, and also that was, to be fair, that was the most interesting map that I've seen so far in 2.0. Because I don't know exactly how the programming works, but I would say about 90% of the seeds that I've run on 2.0, you go on the other side of Swamp Cave, and it's like one thing, and a lot of the time you don't even need to go to that one place. But this one, like, you had one town and Tantagel on the starting side, and everything else was on the other side. That was actually really cool.
Yeah, I like when that happens. Like when there's a lot of stuff on the other side of Swamp Cave.
Yeah, that's not that happens super often. Hey, Furon, do you have RTMP restream or something that I can watch for commentary?
If I do, I couldn't tell you what exactly that is.